and they're playing in front of 3,200 fans, or
Oh yeah.
300 fans, however many they can fit into that building.
Yep.
It's such a
Of course.
small building, but if he's playing in front of that and they manage to go to the playoffs, I don't care if they get swept. The glorious copium going on would be amazing, and I want it for that reason and that reason only.
Yeah, the online reaction is going to be well, it's already been crazy. You see people from everywhere, every fan base, every market in the NHL just trying to poo-poo on the Yotes, and I told you guys, I'm like, man, like I can't be bothered. Is it kind of funny? Yeah, it's a little funny. I'll be honest with you. Like I don't think it's like anything I'm going to lose sleep over. It's a little funny that an NHL team is going to be playing out of a college arena, but it's whatever. Like I'm not losing sleep over it. It's not like an embarrassment to the league. It just is what it is. You know, I couldn't care less.
There's only two people that I feel bad for with this new arena situation. It's the season ticket holders that are in the upper bowl that got priced out. I do genuinely feel bad for them because that's terrible, man. Like being priced out of a ticket is brutal, especially I know there's some people that are 10, 20 years up in the upper bowl season ticket holders and not being able to afford it this upcoming years. It's unfortunate. The other one being that I do feel bad for the players. Like I know it's not going to be ideal. Like there's even talks now that like, oh, the away team has to walk through at the actual concourse where the fans will be, right? They have to walk partially through it. Hopefully they can do something really nice to make it look decent so it's not terrible. I mean, there's plenty of arenas where this is also common. I think the football, the Cowboys have something like this. Obviously, that's for the home team, though, not the away team. But we'll see how it goes. Like I feel like the players might get a little tired of it after 3 years. So I do feel bad for that aspect. But aside from that, like I think that it's going to be an unreal experience for the fans. Like I think the fans that are going to be able to go there, like they're going to love this. Like I really do.
And honestly, it'd only be an embarrassment to the league if the only scenario I actually would see it as an embarrassment is if, all right, we need to find a new arena. Okay, we can't play at Gila. This is our solution. Like not just a temporary, and we're also working with Tempe, and we're working with whatever other neighboring city that also allegedly has interest in hosting the Coyotes. So I have a lot of confidence that no matter what, they're going to get an arena. But it's like, nope, we're just going to play 5,000 seats. That's our permanent solution. Then it would be an embarrassment.
Mm-hmm.
Then it would be like terrible mismanagement and just something
they're trying, right?
Terrible. But if you're actually trying, like the way they are now, it's a short contract with them going to Tempe and entering these negotiations. I just don't see the problem. Boston shared with a college 100 years ago, so literally from the start of the league, the precedent is there. Was it Ottawa had to share with a minor team? Quebec, the glorious Quebec market had to share with a minor team at one point.
San Jose,
San Jose, the Barracuda play in an NHL arena, so at the very least the Barracuda get to have some sort of swag there as opposed to other teams. But it's just the precedent's there for a temporary solution. No one cared when it was Ottawa or Quebec. They only care now because people are mad, especially Quebecers, that it's such a great market. Yet you've lost more NHL franchises than a team that's never turned a profit in 25 years. It's cope. That's all it is. It's pure cope.
Oh yeah. It's always and those Quebec fans are the worst. And even it's not even just the Quebec hockey fans. It's just hockey fans in general. They're like, oh, we got to move to Houston, or oh, we got to move them to Quebec or Kansas City. Like, what? Like, get the hell out of here.
I will say, like, oh goodness, I had a thought and then, okay. Yeah, so I will say, like, a lot of people are missing this part about the arena being in Tempe. Now you have, like, the Coyotes in Tempe. Yes, it sucks, but now you can start to pursue actual corporate sponsors that are going to be around for a long period of time that they weren't going to have in Glendale. And I know your constituents, I think is the word. I'm terrible with words. We're talking about this with like how the arena commands all the advertising, like they're going to get bent over backwards on this. And it's like, yeah, but who owns the arena? Oh, it's the Oakview Group. Have you heard of them before? Does the Oakview Group sound familiar? they've only built like what 3 or 4 NHL stadiums. Like, I don't think they're going to get bent over backwards like people are saying with the corporate advertisement dollars.
They probably wouldn't be doing it if they knew they were going to be getting bent over backwards. So
Yeah,
it's just my 2 cents. People that run a business and do these kinds of things know a lot more than the common or the average NHL fan will say.
yeah.
So I don't know. Like, look at you guys are going to have a new arena probably before Calgary does, which is crazy because like Calgary's been in desperate need for a new arena.
Yeah.
For different reasons than you guys, but for like a long, long time. Like the Scotiabank Saddledome is an ancient relic in this city, and we can't have concerts. We can't have certain shows won't come here because of the shape of the roof and it not being able to structurally support sound systems that hang from the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
The acoustics, like some artists don't even come to Calgary because the goddamn arena is shaped like a saddle.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that, hey? You dip the dip in the saddle.
Yeah. So
the acoustics, they don't like the way they sound in the arena. Like I went to see Eric Church probably 4 or 5 years ago at the Saddledome, and we had just had a snowstorm the night before. So the structural integrity of the roof, because the roof is a saddle, there was so much snow built up on the top of the roof that he couldn't hang his speakers. He couldn't because it was there was threat that the roof could come caving in.
Wow.
So he had to do it all acoustic, which was an awesome experience. Don't get me wrong, but like it's just like little things like that, like throws a wrench in some guys like freaking world tour or whatever, right? Or North American. It's crazy. But yeah, you guys are gonna have that facility before we do. So.
But what's funny is we have an arena here that's actually the same exact design, but it was built way back when, kind of like the Saddledome. So I don't know if you heard like talks when they were talking about like, oh, where are they going to play? And then there was this one called the Veterans Memorial Coliseum. We have an arena here. It's really, really old. It's actually where the original Tucson Roadrunners played.
Phoenix Roadrunners, sorry. And it's actually the same exact shape. I'm pretty sure it came from like the same architect. The inside's nowhere near the same, but the shape is the exact same. So we drive past it like all the time. Like it's right in kind of the central Phoenix area, and it's just like it's weird when you look at it. You're like, is that a Pringle? Like you're like, what? Like
it's so ridiculous. It's cool to see. Like when I first moved to Calgary, it was cool to see. I was like, oh wow, like this is the Saddledome. Like this is awesome. It's like you embrace the whole yeehaw that is Calgary and the Saddledome and everything and all that. But not practical whatsoever. Old as dirt. Just like the whole arena needs a facelift. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to hopefully a new arena in this city sometime soon. But you guys are gonna have yours before we do.
I mean, hey,
that's something you can run in everybody's face.
They have an arena already there.
Right? If the Flames if the Flames don't get an arena, let's just move them to Houston. Like what, dude? The hell?
Like the Battle of Alberta, like is one of the greatest things to watch. Like I don't know, like if
must see TV.
Like Matt, I don't know if you're on it, but like every time they play, I'm always turning that on. Like it is literally blood sports watching those two teams go at it. It's amazing hockey.
I watched some of the playoffs. I didn't really know how bad it. I don't know if it's because like take offense, don't take offense. I'm not trying to be offensive. I don't take Calgary or Edmonton all that seriously as teams because I feel like they have a similar problem with the Coyotes where they don't capitalize that much like in the modern era on their good roster. So I was like, oh, they're probably good but not great. But what that playoff series was the ones I got to watch when I was available to watch, and like even just the highlights after, I'm like, it's ridiculous. It's actually really fun TV.
It really got ignited again in the past like 2 or 3 years. Well, obviously that playoff series was huge, but there was the feud between Matthew Tkachuk and Zach Kassian that just like it lasted forever. It went on forever. It was the whole turtle thing. Cat like stay off the rails if you don't want to get hit, stay off the tracks or whatever. The Matthew Tkachuk friendship tour was birthed after that. Like it made for really good. Like they marketed it pretty well with like, I mean like Oilers Nation and Flames Nation were making merch. The Flames were making merch. The Oilers were making merch. Like everybody was profiting from it. And it was a lot of fun. Like everybody here, like I said, I've only been in Calgary for this will be, oh God. 8 years now. Yeah, so I've been in Calgary for 8 years. But like the Battle of Alberta really became a thing like 2 or 3 years ago. It like reignited.
Yeah.
Like in the 80s,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
a goddamn bloodbath. Like that
Yeah.
was, it was like people wanting to kill each other hockey. Like
Yeah.
incredible. And those two teams were like, they were good back in the day too. Like those were a couple good teams. Like the late 80s Flames when they went on and won that cup, and the Oilers with all their plethora of talent that was there. And like guys like McSorley and you had Tim Hunter and all these like big bad bullies of the 80s.
Yep.
But then obviously hockey changed and you don't see those kind of players anymore. But I think Matthew Tkachuk and Zach Kassian really like reignited it with their hatred towards each other and their turtling and their fighting, and it made for a great playoff series.
And now both those players aren't on either team.
You stole my idea, Rich.
Yeah.
You're gonna steal my idea. I'll go ahead and steal the next topic. I want to talk about arenas real quick because I think it'd be funny. So, obviously, Canadians understand the concept of arena far away. That leads to attendance sucking, especially if the team's not very good. I guarantee you can add a little more context, but Ottawa comes to mind. It's not in a very great location.
Let me interject real quick. I lived in Ottawa for 6 years, and it was great because I lived on the opposite end of the city, so it was a quick whoop whoop in and out, and I was at Sens games and home before some people were even out of the parking lot. But do go on. I know a lot of people complain about Ottawa. I friggin' loved it. I loved the location because it was so close to where I lived.
That sounds like me with the Coyotes arena because I always lived on 135th in Glendale. You're not going to have any reference for that, but it's within 20 minutes of the arena. Yeah. My dad worked there. I practically grew up there. I just spent all my time there. That's why I love the location. But it's when the arena's not in the best area, it's a little bit further out, you get lower attendance. And I forget if Richard was saying, was it the Eastern Conference Finals or the Cup Finals? I think it was Conference Finals.
It is the Conference Finals. Yeah,
Conference Finals.
Yeah, they ended up having to tarp off seats in Ottawa.
So they understand the concept. If the arena's not in a good location, it can negatively impact attendance. I know it's grade 1 talk, but it's how come when you translate that to the Coyotes, they don't seem to understand that? Does it just come from hatred of the Coyotes, or is it some other factor? I want a Canadian perspective on that.
Oh, geez, that's a good question because like it's hard for me because like I told you, like it doesn't like what's been happening in with the Coyotes has been like, I don't know, for me looking in, it's kind of funny, but at the same time it's like whatever, like I don't like it doesn't affect me either way. I don't care. Like I'm not going to take this away from Yotes fans. Because like obviously, you guys have had some good teams and some good players come through, and I respect that. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Like I don't know if it's because I feel like it's always like you get it from every fan base. You can't even really just pinpoint it to it's just Send fans or it's just Leaf fans, because like it's everybody. Like every fan base poo-poos on the Yotes situation and the arena situation and not having, like I feel like attendance issues are all like there's always going to be, they're all over the league. Like it's not just the Yotes. It's just that everybody likes to pick on the Yotes because they think it's Gary Bettman's little reclamation project that, Gary Bettman loves the market in Arizona. Yeah. And he'll do whatever it takes to make sure that hockey succeeds in Arizona. And rightfully, and even if that is the case, rightfully so, man. Like, why not? Why not? Like I can't speak for how big hockey is in Arizona, but I would imagine like markets in Canada, like, I don't know, Toronto, where everybody comes out of in terms of Canadian hockey, or Western Canada and like Edmonton and Calgary. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if hockey's that big. Like I'm pretty sure it probably isn't in Arizona, but like I would love for it to be. Like, don't you think that would be like just way better for the game? Yeah. Like, why do people hate this so much?
I actually wanted to tell you because I think you'll be able to spread the gospel since you'll have a little bit powerful knowledge here. In Arizona, like 10 years ago, a hockey camp took about like a week to fill up, right? It was like a week or two. Now, hockey has grown so massively that it camps are literally filling up in like 4 minutes. And that's not hyperbole. Like, that is verbatim. They fill up in like 4 minutes now. And it has just gotten, it's literally just exploding here. And now we have Josh Doan and Matthew Knives. They're running a camp out here in Arizona for the kids, and like it's blowing up, and that's great for us. Obviously, I mean, you can see we keep producing like NHLers. Tage Thompson played here for a little bit, right?
Also, Glendale Bourne.
Yeah. Matthew Knives, Josh Doan, obviously Matthews. You know, like we're starting to get.
Matthew Tkachuk was born here.
Yeah, but he didn't.
I'm claiming him.
he didn't play in the system, so I'm not gonna like claim him as our own. But like you're seeing more and more of these Arizona, not born, but Arizona raised kids that are just like starting to produce, and that's all because of the Coyotes. Like that is because of their presence here.
Yeah, no, and like, I mean, for me, like I'm a bigger. Obviously, I have my allegiances on the ice, but like I'm a bigger hockey fan in general, like as just a fan of the game and the sport itself. And growing up playing my whole life, that's kind of just like what you become, right? You always have your favorite team, but you love the game, right? And that's something, you know, I always wanted to see. You always want to see the game getting better. You always want to see better talent. You always want to see markets like Arizona or like Vegas who took on hockey like that, and all of a sudden they're an NHL market. Seattle, same thing. You know, like non-traditional or markets that haven't had hockey for, you know, as long as other markets have, picking it up and not only putting out a good product in terms of the pro game, but building like community wise too.
Yeah.
Different programs and people sticking around in Arizona, like the Dones. And continuing to grow the game, which is fantastic. And I don't know if you guys have had the privilege of meeting Shane Doan, one of the most genuine, down to earth, humble.
Oh, yeah.
The guy is just a freaking beauty.